All right, everyone, we're at class number 12. We're going to be going over a single leg takedown variation today, and it's also a variation of the takedown we learned in very first class, number 1, the leg hook, okay? But today we'll go to side control with that instead of falling and going to mount, all right? And then 2, today's going to be a pretty big review and kind of tying in some of the themes we saw last class, last couple of classes, with our overarching theme of defense against strikes. We don't want to get punched, kicked, kneed, elbowed, poked in the eye, hit in the groin, any of that. So, a comprehensive jiu-jitsu program, even at a beginner level, is going to address defense against strikes. Today is going to be a big overview of the punch defenses and entries to clinch off of that we taught in recent classes. But we're going to use that to set up our takedown. And then we'll conclude with some side headlock defense, side control. We taught defense 1 and 2 already. This will be defense 3 and 4, okay? So we're gonna get right into it. Let me see your base here. Okay, feet are staggered, knees are bent, hips are forward, and here, okay? So we do this from this sort of scenario. Step forward just a little bit. From this sort of scenario, or square your feet and just say relaxed. Right? Sometimes we have to be able to do things like deflect punches. We might not be able to assume the 4-point base, staggered stance, okay? We may be against a wall. So we teach this in kind of some phases like that where, we do go over it against the wall. We do go over it from feet here. And then this is, if we're having to defend ourselves against strikes, this is the preferred, okay? So good base real quick here. So now we're gonna just review our deflections to straight punches to the head or the body, okay? So you're just gonna add some weight, bringing it forward into the balls of your feet as you deflect. Don't reach, deflect, okay? Straight punch, deflect, good, deflect, good. All right, we'll start going to the head and body. Nice, okay, good. So that's the basic drill. Now what do we do with that? Well, we can strike and we can go to clinch, right? And we can do that in that sequence, but let's review them individually and then we'll make a sequence out of it, right? So a lot of this is taking the moves that we have already worked on and stringing those together into a sequence, like a fighting sequence or a defensive sequence, okay? So if he does the punch at me here, all right, and when he retracts it, I can be going in for a clinch, okay? Now, if I have my head on the side of his body like that, pushing him over backwards, I'm in tight, I'm protected. If you're more to the front, we want to be sure we're coming in and protecting, right, with our shoulders here. When I do this, he cannot headlock me. So we learned double leg takedown last class, right, here. If he tries to grab me in a headlock, he can't. He's forced to go around my arms for more of a body lock, like a rear body lock. But it's acceptable to many counters when I force you to have to just grab that way, right? So if you enter the clinch and the takedown in the right way, protecting here, it's very difficult for them to get you in a headlock. And again, keynote theme of this whole course, headlock defense. We talk about it, I mean, essentially every class, okay? So here, so I want you to deflect and then just enter into a clinch, right? Wanted you to make it a clinch that we've gone over in the course previously, and then just pause from there, okay? And we'll see what your base looks like, okay? Deflect, clinch, good, okay, that's good, all right? And then get like underneath that, yeah, now just go around, go to the back, yes, okay, good. Okay, stay over here. Here's what we're gonna do like we did this drill last class. Defend 3 punches. On the 3rd punch, clinch me. 1, boom, boom, right there, right? So 2, 3, I tricked you a little bit, did double jab cross there, I'm a boxer, all right? 1, 2, clinch. Yes, good, side body lock there. Get on my tricep with this grip. Good 4-point base. Nice. If I'm here, if I really pull here, I want to feel hip connection. If I pull that, yes. That's your leg hook takedown from class 1 if you want it, right? Yes. Okay. So let's do that again. 1, 2, 3. Third time, I want you to immediately come back for a clinch. 1, 2, 3. Good. Oh yeah, you get the side body lock that time, right? We learned that in class 3 and 4. Good. Nice, and you gotta be relaxed here too, you know. We have to be able to flow and move, and we have to be able to create a lot of tension sometimes, right? Physically and psychologically. So here, see how my knees are, right? Like I look real rigid here right now, but I can also be mobile, okay? I can also move in an inch, 2 inches. I could take a big step in any direction. Remember, that's our principles of good base, okay? So always it can be a point of tension or a point of relaxation, right? This one thing that Chris Burns, he calls water and stone, right? You gotta be able to become both, right? So get in that stance again, okay? So now what I want us to do is start adding the elbow. We'll just do the elbow real quick. If we deflect a straight punch, it's a horizontal elbow, okay? So deflect straight punch, horizontal, okay? Straight punch, horizontal, okay? We always want to, just a safety tip here, we want to be careful about throwing these like with our partner. We want to get in a hurry or throw hard. We don't have targets on. We do use targets with this in class sometimes, right? But elbows, very sharp. We can definitely accidentally inflict some damage in class working on them for sure. So another thing is our hands are open when we're here, right? Knuckles are about at my eye line. We're talking about making the triangle around our face here, protecting everything. And our arms are out so we can meet. Now, with that's our guard from standing, right? That's just kind of an overview. Now, if you are going with the elbow, we'll add the clinch on after that. So let's just come with the elbow, and we keep our palms open on the elbow as well, okay? So here, elbow, good. If you need to step in a little bit, you can. Do that again. Here, elbow. Cuff block is what we call that in the Muay Thai program. It's a forearm block, okay? Do that same one again. Here, elbow. Here, elbow. Here, elbow. Good. Okay, now, you punch at me. Here, elbow, right? And you see I stepped in with it already here, right? So now, if you did try and grab me in a headlock, I just slip right around. No problem, okay? It's because of how I entered, okay? So let's not get in a hurry. Let's just do one at a time right now. And then we'll see if we can't do this on the third one. But I just want you to go deflect the punch, elbow, clinch. Deflect the punch, elbow, clinch. Come in like this, you have more opportunities, more defense, okay? Deflect, elbow, clinch. Good. Instead of this, see this? I don't like this. I would rather have a body lock than just the wrist right there, okay? It's not that the wrist is bad, but go ahead and grab the wrist. Right? So I like that. So if you can't get the tricep from this side clinch, grab my tricep there and have that really connected, I would just go body lock. Like if I was out here, then you really need to bury that head in, okay? And another thing we talked about is previous class, if this, you collect that arm, block that bicep, collect it, boom, and then you got it back, okay? So, situational. We saw in class 4, we get out of the rear naked choke. From standing, we're right in the side body lock. They're already off balance. So again, you come in with this, they may be falling down immediately because you had all of the right points in place. They never had time to balance and defend. Base. Okay, let's do the other side. Deflect. Elbow, clinch. That's a really good one, okay? Now, I want you to do that again. Same side. That was a really good entry. come in like this a little bit, right? Even though you're controlling the tricep and everything, when you do that, you almost always slip to the back. Almost always, okay? So deflect, elbow, right, and clinch. Right there. See that shoulder? That's what that shoulder I'm talking about. Here, see this? See how I can't even put you in a headlock like I've been doing this whole time we've been talking about this. You still have my tricep, that's great. Then just keep going around. Good, very good. Okay, do that same side one more time. Deflect, elbow, clinch. You're already gone. You just pretty much slipped under from the beginning. Here, okay? Get in your base. Step into the double leg, do the same thing. There's a review for last class. Step in for the double leg, boom. See, that same idea. I can't find your face, I have to go around here, right? When I go around your body, just reposture. Boom. Yeah, it's just a free entry to the back, okay? So, good overview there. We need to be able to deflect with our forearm. We need to be able to understand our weight distribution. We're forward in the balls of our feet, adding weight to their arm. And then we can follow the arm back and clinch. We can elbow as we do that, right? So if I'm doing something like here, and this is our relationship with how we're standing, throw this punch, I'm here, I can elbow, step in at the same time, right? So, and again, just emphasizing, if you do come in with that, you then grabbing you from that side headlock, oh, well, I got good posture. It's like, well, what if you're not warmed up at all and you're real sore from training yesterday and somebody jumped you, and then the day your back decided to go out was the day you got attacked. And you're like, man, I should have just protected my neck on the way into that clinch a little more. So it's just something we haven't talked about previously in terms of a headlock defense. It's kind of early phase. You enter in with that. It's kind of a part of the base conversation, okay? Now let's do hook defense. Hook defense, okay? So, we know that we can come out to meet, right? Also a forearm block, right? We call the one we just did a cuff block. Call that one a wedge block. Just wedge our forearm and meet it, right? Sometimes do your overhand. It could be more of I meet your bicep. Sometimes it depends on the range and the length of the fighter and all sorts of things. So here's what we want. We want a cover block on the hook today, okay? And I'm just gonna be slapping at you. This could be a slap defense. You could call them, when we study kicks this way, we call them round kicks, round punches, right? Greg Jackson uses that term. But slap or hook punch defense, right? So these are straight punches, these are round punches. They go around your guard, right? So if you're good at deflecting my punches and I'm trying to hit you, I'll start going around what you're deflecting there, and I'll start trying to go around, okay? Or maybe all I know is haymakers. Those come around, okay? So I just want you to cover block, and that's all we're gonna do. And if we cover block on the body, it's here. Kind of see what my palm's doing, is kind of facing my face here, boom. So if I come here and I dropped it straight down, let's say they hit me here and then here, yeah, boom, 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 boom. If somebody throws double hooks, that could be Mike Tyson, you never know, okay? So, in your base, cover block. Yes, good, reset. Cover block. Good. Okay, now I'm gonna kind of double up, right? So I'm gonna go. Good. Now I'm gonna kind of think about diagonal. So I'm gonna hit you high here, low here. Hit you high here, low here. I'm gonna hit you twice low, twice high. Oh, that was real good though. I stopped telling you, 6, 7 strikes ago, right? but that's how we get better, right? These are reflex drills, okay? And, you know, you did real good, got better the whole time, and then you made one mistake, big deal, right? We're in here training to get better, drilling, and this is the way that it occurs, okay? So, and you know, it's always interesting with striking. You know, we train strikers here at the gym, and a bunch of them. And the trade-off of making a mistake is, you know, you might get hit in the brain or something, or the liver. You never know, right? But it's probably going to be one of those types of things. All right, so that's just a cover block, right? We need to know the cover block. Now, when we cover block, and this comes up, when it comes back down, we're going to come with a vertical upward elbow. So we call this a horizontal side elbow. The first one we did, see, it goes on a horizontal plane, right? It just hits the side, right? Boom. Now this one we're about to do is vertical upward. Vertical upward. It's just like we're cover blocking in a sense. Boom, right? So we can do this off of our defending the hook punch, and then we'll add the clinch just like we saw with deflecting the straight punches, right? Let's do them independently. So cover block and elbow is all we're doing. So cover block here, elbow there, upward. Yeah, there you go. Upward, boom. Up, good. Block, up. Block, up. Block, up. Good. Okay. Now, here's what I want us to do next. I want to block and clinch, and then I'll kind of show you how we're going to tie those together, okay? So, give me the hook punch here, right? When I cover block here, coming over, and like, look how heavy I am here. That makes it really easy to go around for this side clinch, okay? So I really like cover blocking and entering over that arm, dropping all that weight down, right? Sucked all your weight over that leg, okay? And we'll see other applications other than what we're talking about today in future classes, okay? So that is a really great idea. So what if we cover block? Go ahead and give me this hook. I cover block, I elbow, right? And after this elbow, I can do the same thing on that side, right? So if the cover block in itself, so just give me the cover block, or give the hook rather, you can do this. If I'm elbowing you here, I can do that same thing on the other side, right? So let's cover block, and then elbow, and then clinch. And when we clinch, just be thinking about those things we're talking about with headlock prevention, right? Early phase. We're addressing it as we come in as a potential that even the most untrained person will go to that, okay? So, cover, elbow, clinch, yes. Okay, but if you, okay, stay here. So if you had the weight there, that's the over side. So go under on this side and go around. Yes, now, I can't even grab your head. Good. Okay. Cover. We'll go this side this time. Cover, elbow, clinch. Oh yeah, take your best side. What's up with that? Why you have a better side than the other? It really is.
True.
Like when we're doing the punch deflections, you're killing it when I throw the right side. But that's good, so think about that. I'm the statistical anomaly in the room, almost every room. I mean, essentially, unless it was a left-handed convention of only people that were left-handed, right? And I bet there would be some imposter right-handed people there.
I bet so.
Right? Just like I pretend in the gym to be right-handed. I show all the combinations. Hey, look, I'm a right-hander, right? For self-defense, doing things both sides, we don't determine what side we get attacked on, but statistically, more people are right-handed. So defending against overhands, punches with the right hand of any kind, like this is the punch they're more likely to hit you with. So the fact that you're good at this, just hope you don't run into a left-hander, like myself, right? So anyway, but that's just a really cool idea. And two, the more you think about these things, you get through this program and start thinking this way, if you ever do have to use this, which we never want to, right, in a real situation, you'll start noticing like, oh, it's like they're standing the opposite, like they're standing here and they're trying to, you know, like a South, you're like, I don't even know what you're talking about, stand like that, right? But yeah, they might be, so let's say you stand in your normal base. If I came, yeah, you're just like we've been the whole class. If I came up to you and I was like, you notice immediately, you're like, dude, what are you're trying to hit me that way, right? So then it's really good, like, oh, I'm gonna overhand you with this one, okay? So we might not favor certain sides or certain techniques on certain sides, but we're always looking for the ones that we can really apply. Like you might like going under the overhand against the southpaw versus, you know, blocking it or wedge blocking it or cover blocking it, which is a hook, right? So now let's just do this. Let's practice that going under, okay? Boxers or strikers will call this a weave, right? The best term for us is a level change, okay? So we're not concerned, you know, like a bob and weave in boxing is, you know, my shoulders might be moving, but I'm going, oh, I might even hit you when I'm doing it. We're not doing any of that today, right? All we're doing is stepping and going under. And if we're grabbing the clinch, I step and I go under here, right? If we're grabbing the takedown, give me either side, give me a hook on this side. Here, can you grab my neck? No. And while you're messing around with it, I'll do something else. I take you back, okay? So we go under the round punches, the hooks, the slaps, the overhands, the pre-telegraphed punches, right? I will say one of the only times I ever knocked anyone out with a punch to the face. I got several body knockouts and then kick knockouts too. But with punches to the face, was somebody reared back and it just like I saw it, so they had no defense. And bah! It's just the cleanest shot ever. But it was because they telegraphed, and I was boxing that day. I was boxing sparring, right? But and it just like, his chin was right there, and I was like, bah! And it just collapsed, you know, unfortunately. Yeah. But for him. But, you know, that's, we don't want to telegraph ourselves, but we want to look for those things. Remember, those are those pre-fight indicators, okay? So, let's go under, and sometimes you go straight to the rear clinch on this. I want you to think about here, we're just clinching right now. Just clinching. If you can slip straight to the rear clinch, awesome. If you go side body lock, try and apply this, because if I do try and grab your head, go right around under to the back, okay? So, under that. Instead of blocking it, we're gonna step and go under it. So, give me this hook, here. Give me this hook, here. Give me this hook, here. Okay, so see what I did there? I slid across, I stepped in, and then, give me this one again, I went here. And we're not going on the legs yet, we're just clenching. Okay, but I want you to think about coming in that way, right? So, just step and go under. Shoulders protect. Boom. Yeah, look, see, you went right to the back. And that's kind of that's my rear side, and maybe that haymaker defense as well. Okay, but hook punch. Go under. Boom. Good. Go under this one. Here, nice. Okay. Do that again, the same side. Good. Now think about, back to class number 2, we did the front body lock, takedown. And I want you to think about penetrating straight in for like a front body lock or a double leg, okay? So if you're doing this hook here, right? See how I've got that? And I just come up into that. So think about those, you know, front attacks, right? When I come in, you had this one, great. You got this one, great. Now this one right in the middle, like look how our legs fit together like puzzle pieces, okay? So what I want to do is when this punch comes here, right? And then what are you gonna do? Okay? So think about this coming down and in and protect. Good. You don't have to switch your stance. Just come straight in. Yes, look, now go around. Beautiful. See, you had a tendency to go that way every time otherwise, right? But that's, it's fine. Good. Go again. Yes, good. Go again. Yes. Good. One more time. Good. So if you think back to class 5 and 6, we learned the rear hip throw and the rear sacrifice throw, right? Which the judo terms for that were Yushiro Goshi, rear hip throw, right? Yushiro means rear in Japanese, and Tani and Toshi, valley drop, right? Rear sacrifice. And it was a real, like I remember, like I weigh 40 pounds or so, and you just lifted me up, no problem. Same thing on the double A takedown, right? Like once you get it, like once you understand, oh, this is the way to do it. You don't straighten your back. Yeah, there'd be some tip like, hey, you're not gonna lift up this person, so we got this. We'll do this technique when we can't lift. And that's part of what today's takedown lesson will be about, is when you can't lift them up, they're adding weight, either dropping it down, or maybe down and then they're moving their hips back, getting their legs away from you because they don't want to get leg hooked, entangled and all that, right? So, and then two, they're putting weight on your back. Those are two key principles that we need to be able to address situations when I am going for clinches or takedowns, okay? So just kind of expanding on that narrative as we go along. Now, what I want to do is, last couple of classes, we've been talking about this slip and parry maneuver, okay? So when we're here and you come with a straight punch to the face, we're slipping past that and we're coming in, right? And here we come in, we get that body lock, we can get that double leg, rear clinch, we have a lot of really great options. So just slipping and pushing past that. So let's review that, and then we're gonna start with that to be setting up our takedown, okay? And then we will also loop back and review like, okay, well, let's go into the hook to set the same thing up, right? So last class was double leg takedown. This class is a leg hook takedown, but it's just a leg hook is a single leg variation, okay? So again, I mentioned this at the beginning, whereas last class we saw it going to the mount, or first class of the whole program. Last time we saw the leg hook takedown. This class, it goes to side control, okay? So let's go over that, right? So remember last class when we just mentioned, like we were picking each other up, and we looked. I made a screenshot of me picking you up. That's the one I usually try and go for. Sometimes you get to be the star of the thumbnail, okay? But it's just they're not heavy, and then you're just like, boop. So remember what we called that? A high lift double leg takedown. Because I mean, you do. Their legs get lifted up high. They're up this high, right? And not crazy heavy, because you're able to get them up, right? But if they are worried about that, or they're like, oh, I'm getting taken down, they know anything about base, or maybe they wrestle in high school, they drop weight down. Okay? Remember we talked about in classes 4 through 6 from the back, dropping weight. Yes. Just being heavy from that square stance. Okay? So imagine like on a sprawl, right? When we start to initiate that, we don't want to get picked up. That's what we're doing. Okay? And we're not trying to learn all the intricacies of defending double A takedowns and single A takedowns today. But what we are thinking is just what you did from the back. You drop weight down. If you drop weight down, I can't do last class's technique. Upset it to me, okay? So here's what we're gonna do. Throw this punch. I'm gonna parry and slip it, right? And I'm gonna come down this line, stepping here, okay? Now, whether I'm grabbing both legs or a single leg, we'll learn a single leg in a later class where we lift them up, right? And it's look how close, we're in the side clinch, right? It's just like, what are we playing, clinch, or are we playing take you down with the legs, right? So when I say takedown, I mean single legs, double legs, things like that. When I say throw, I think you hip throw, leg throws. I think everybody knows, like, okay, yeah, I see the difference in that. If you're throwing the person versus taking them down. Maybe I caught your kick and tripped you, right? Trips are sometimes throws, the big throws, sometimes they're, today it'll be more of a single leg takedown. We got our legs, tripped you, fell on top of you. It'll be great. Okay, so come here with this, boom, I step in here, okay? I'm coming in and I want to lift here, okay? So, boom, right there. Don't let me do that. Whether it's on the single or the double. Again, we're not getting into the lifting single today, but we have seen the high lifting double. Okay? So he comes with the jab here, right? I can't do that anymore. That's good. You're really getting this base thing. High five. All right, we'll try to make that the thumbnail. All right, the high five in the middle. Okay. So when you do that, some of the things they've learned, they're not gonna work. Everything has a timing, right? So, I can't pick you up here. I don't know what to do. So I want you to think about when you feel that the weight, you feel that I'm heavy, you're gonna go leg hook takedown to side control. And this is a lot like something we would do in the all ranks class. We even have it with some of the more advanced kids in the kids curriculum. You would know it as the back step pass or the long step pass. Oftentimes this movement in Jiu Jitsu is taught as a guard pass, okay? Now, the motion I'm talking about is this, okay? And notice I didn't go. That'll happen, especially when you're entangled with someone. So, a couple other nuances on this. When your legs are heavy and I go to this, I am going to hook your leg and come up to your waist. So this is essentially a side body lock, leg hook takedown to side control, right? Whereas we saw a side clinch, leg hook takedown to mount in class 1, okay? So it's a different situation altogether, different feel, different outcome, different setup and everything. So go ahead and come with that straight punch again. Here, be heavy, but your leg is still here. Okay, so look what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come up to the body lock, I'm gonna hook the leg, right? And I'm gonna start pushing you down, and I'm gonna land here. And then I come up into, either we can move to head arm side mount, we can move to, get back to my camera here, side headlock. We've got a whole lot of options, okay? So, let's go here. So if I'm here, right, and you're heavy, I can't lift you. I feel like you're incredibly heavy, right? So with the leg, here, that leg kept me. If I didn't put that leg back, I would have went, and you could have come up. So you gotta be careful about that leg outriggering, okay? So let's get a little further back even. Okay, so parry this, step in, right? More of a parry and a slip. Instead of the forearm, throw your punch. It's deflecting, but use more of the hand today because of what we're doing. So it's different than the other one we've done. Okay, so parry, and we'll go this side actually, just for the yes, good. Go back. We're gonna go back. Good. Now parry, slip, get in, yes, and then go for the legs. Yeah, you're landing here. Now you're trying to pick up under the hips right now. Feel my weight. So think double leg from right here, right? So see if you can swing your hips and lift me up. Just, yeah. Oh, you did it, okay. Now, I'm worried about that. Try that again. Oh, and did you feel how your leg just naturally hooked my leg?
Yeah.
When you did that, like try to lift. I don't like that. Hook my leg. Go like to the body. So is the next step on that. So just kind of come up to there, okay? So go back down to the hips. You're trying to lift. I'm heavy. Hook the leg, go to the body, and back step. Yeah, you like how I helped you do that? Because they're going to be doing stuff like that, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay? And sometimes, against a defensive situation, person, weight difference, we create so much momentum that you have to be at a higher level of understanding to understand how to harness it, right? Like there's a lot of momentum going down with that due to our weight differences, height differences, and the momentum created from this technique, okay? So parry that, step in, parry that, step in. Instead of head going behind, go ahead in front, right? Okay, now from here, you're trying to lift, I'm heavy, dropping weight, yes, and then hook the leg, and back step. Good, see? Go to your knees now. And what are we learning right now? Yeah, side headlock escape. So it's right here. Yeah, go ahead and go over to mount, technical mount. Swing that leg over. Yes, knee up. Good. Frame on my face. Now lean forward over here. Yeah, I don't think I want to hold on anymore. Like as soon as you got on track, I'm like, well, there goes that. Okay? So you land in that situation where your hips are up for a second, right? And you go to your knees. They hold onto your head. Great. That's what we're working on last class and this class. Headlock escape, side control, underneath, getting out of that, okay? So now we'll go the same thing on the other side, okay? So I want you to parry and slip, and then like we were doing earlier, just step in diagonal and go to lift. And when it's not there, now the thing about this one is why I keep on my, no. This is a head on the inside technique, right? When we saw the double leg last class, we were showing head on the outside double legs primarily, okay? That is just like what you see most of the time in the beginner level, but we can't study every double. There's a lot of great ones, right? That's the one we want everybody to know, the one we went over. Same thing on this one, okay? So, parry that and slip it. Boom, come in. Nice, there you go, yes. Good, go again. Parry and slip. Boom. Boom. Yes, that's good, good. Do that again. And we did this a second ago, but now we're, okay, well it matters when we're about to do takedown, right? So, go in for the lift, and it's not gonna be there. Go for the leg hook. Back step pass. I bet this side will feel better to you like we did earlier.
A little better.
Right? Let's back up just a little bit. Because this is the side you normally pass guard to. If we're on the ground and he's in my guard, he statistically would go this way more often. Most people. Okay? Parry. Outside. Boom. There. Try and lift me. I'm heavy. You're not gonna lift. Okay? Yeah. Now hook the leg. It's back step. Good. Now go to your knees. I'm gonna hold on to that head. Technical mount, frame, lean forward into the neck. Nice. As my Brazilian friends would say, and they do say this, good job, good job. In the second, we'll do the army bar from there. They also say that. Okay. Now, let's talk about something else. Like that's when it's hard to lift. What if it's hard to lift and they put weight on your back? Remember when we were talking about rear clinch a few classes back, and we're talking about how like get a little too low, like your hips are too far back. We're talking about how I could start doing that. That'd be a mistake on your part if I was able to do that. We don't want that. Same thing, I don't want to come in here and not be able to lift you, and then so be heavy. Good. Now lean weight forward on my back and put your legs back behind you a little bit. Yes. Oh, you got hurt my back, dude. I'm in the Master 4 division or whatever. I don't know. Right? The 36-year-olds. But that's the thing. The older you get with this, you're like, okay, well, that hurts my back. Well, it can't be a technique that hurts my back, right?
Right.
So you start evaluating, like, think Jiu-Jitsu means gentle skill, gentle way for judo. It's like efficiency, common thing, giving way, yielding. There's all these concepts, pliancy, ways that we break and translate that word down to look at what we're doing, okay? And I want to think about those things. If it's super duper hard, and like you felt like, man, Brian, I was 40 pounds and I was trying to lift him up and slam him with that double leg takedown. And I was able to do it last time, but now he's defending. He's dropping his weight, and now he feels like he's heavier than he is. The common person, the person that you're gonna fight in the street, will persist lifting that double leg takedown. You can bank on it. And if that happens to you, and you got taken down, we have all these other tools, guard, right? Posture control, stage 1 and 2 punch defense. All these things we've already learned, right? And then we just go into those systems. We don't freak out. Somebody may pick you up and slam you. Somebody is drunk on the street, bigger than you, upset, just got thrown out of the bar, whatever, okay? So having a bad night, right? Now you're having a bad night, right? Now you can minimize how bad that night is by staying calm, right? Oh, okay, yeah, they picked me up and slammed me, but I was basing on them hard, and they persisted. They're already tired. That's why you don't want to get panicky, right? Being tired and being panicky are pretty much the same thing. They shut you down in similar ways. So remaining calm, like we talked about with the side headlock defense, this little block of 3 classes, remaining calm is everything. Getting in the right positions, everything. Oh, you got taken down? The right position to be in is close guard with posture control, defending against punches, setting up some of the things that we talked about and learned, and things that you know from your whole journey, okay? So don't persist if it's heavy. Don't persist if it's weight on your back. The thing is like we'll talk about this in a future class at the hip throw, right? How I set up a hip throw is I'm here, and you don't like this, so you step behind. Boom. If I get in, I'm thinking like I'm trying to lift you, and then you're like, oh, you're gonna hook my leg or something. That leg's not there anymore. What do we do? Right? So let's say I'm in here, right? I'm trying to lift for the double, start being heavy. Yes. Now start dropping weight on my back and moving your legs back. That. Okay? Now watch. I'm gonna drop my knee. See where the line on the mats is at? I'm gonna drop it right under your spine. And I don't wanna drop it like there, but I wanna get deep here and open my chest. It doesn't hit the mat hard and it doesn't stay there. I'm just pausing to show. I immediately open my chest and here. You'll either fall to your knees or your hands and knees or some variation of that. Not throw you under the bus, but when we were doing this before, it felt like over there. You know, I was just like, oh, that's cool. Effective technique, I see. Right? But it just ruined your base. Like, where are we going? That happens sometimes, okay? So when somebody's essentially sprawling weight down, leaning forward, getting their legs back, you don't want to hinge at the hips like that. You're still susceptible to being taken down, okay? So when that occurs, I'm here, I'm trying to lift, you're heavy, you're putting your legs back, you're putting weight on my back. Look what I'm gonna do. Drop in, stand up, boom. Class 4, rear naked choke.
Yep.
Okay. You ready on that one? Do you remember what? So this is also like class 4, 5, 6. Even when doing guillotine defense, 7, 8, and 9. This is reposture defense. Only difference is we drop our knee to the mat this time because of the weight. Okay, so you're gonna reposture, and with the knee drop, this is like 2 moves in the sport of wrestling, and we teach them here too. They're in Jiu Jitsu as well. The sit through and the duck under. In wrestling, the duck under is like this. A lot of times when you do it, it's full on commitment, you will post your hands on the mat because I'm just shucking you forward, right? Getting up underneath you, setting it up, okay? This is gonna be kind of like that. I'm gonna fall forward, okay? So let's do this. Weave this and get in, right? Boom, but head on the inside. Yes, there you go, do it again. Head on the inside. There, good, good, good. Okay, so now I feel like, all right, start trying to lift. He's trying to lift, I'm heavy, right? And then I'm like, I'm gonna start getting my leg back too. This, yes, drop deep in and pop right back up. Good, nice. When you do that, do it on this side, okay? So I start going here, right? When you do this, I want you to inflate your chest, like really open and expand your sternum, just in a subtle way as you go back up. It's as you start to come up and around. That's when you don't want me to catch you back in a guillotine. If I pursue a guillotine, it should shoulder lock me, okay? So drop under, back up. Yes, good. I was like still holding on to your arm just out of habit, but I had no base. I was just like, oh man, he's back there, okay? So this just takes advantage of all of our, main things that people do that are, can really make it hard on the double. We could still maybe persist and do it, but then it will make us tired. We want efficiency. We want to plan for the worst. They're bigger, faster, stronger. I tell the fighters, I'm like, you need to think about the judges. They're the parents of the people you are fighting. Think about them as evaluating that way, right? Because you don't want to have people deciding, right? If you get in a self-defense altercation, you're the decider, right? No matter where it goes, self-defense encounters are no fun. They're unpredictable. So wherever it goes, calm, remain calm. That's it. Breathe, work our techniques, and then position, damage. I know multiple people, no personally, that have been in some situation where they had to control somebody till the cops got there. And they did it, and it was no problem. Luckily, that person didn't have a knife or a gun. But here's the thing, because they had him in such positional control. And this one story, and this is the guy that poked me in the eye, I think you've heard me tell that story. He's holding this dude in Kessa, right? Like, we're on the ground. And this dude's just running his mouth relentlessly, and he's crushing this dude's soul, like dropping weight on him. And this dude, I want to say this is a Sonic or something. And this dude is like 60s at the time, I want to say, late 50s, early 60s. Is wearing a cowboy hat, unassuming. Takes his hat off and puts it over that dude's face. And while holding him there, before that happened, took his phone out and called the cops from Kessa. Yes, we have a person causing a disturbance down here at the Sonic Drive-In. I am restraining them until you get here. That's the thing, a lot of people in this profession are also in other professions where they can, be effective and be calm and not do things like cause serious injury to somebody because they were having a terrible day and made some bad mistakes, work it out in the courts, nobody got hurt, right? That's what we want to think about with jiu-jitsu. I don't want to get hurt. I'll hurt you if I have to. If you're really trying to hurt me, you are going to get hurt for sure. And you have to have that mentality. Sometimes it's a hurt you enough for me to get away. And we'll see like the sort of levels to that even going through this class, right? When you start maiming somebody, you hit them a time or two with an elbow, or their will to fight is diminished. One little elbow, right? And 2 fights in which one knee turned the whole tide. It literally, like, I felt the spirit of the person break. Like, they just crumpled in my arms. And I was just like, wow. One technique is all it took, okay? So, this reposture, let's work on that a couple more times, and then we'll move on to our grappling techniques, okay? So, go under, step in, head on the inside, here, good. Let's start here, right? Yes, back, go around that side. Exactly. Chose the right side there. Don't feel rushed. Do that same side again. Go under. Good. Open that chest up. This side. Stepping in, head on the inside. Head on the inside. It's all right. It's all right. So, thanks. Give me this. Right? Because I want that. I want it. Following on people sucks for the person you're following. You could follow on me. The back step kind of lessens it, but you're still following me. Me following on you would suck a lot. because of the weight difference. So you would feel that 40 pounds, okay? Dropping people also sucks. If we were dropping each other last class with the double leg takedown, that's so like, think about doing those things to people that aren't prepared for them and they're nomads, okay? So that's sort of the idea is like, here, I'm already there. I'm already leg hooking you. I'm already doing everything. Because you may be taller and heavier than me anyway, like 6'6", 285, 6'6", 325, right? Somebody that has never had people really tell them no, right? They're always the bigger, stronger person, right? That weight differential will change things, right? And so I've seen this exact takedown I'm showing you in a recent viral self-defense video. And it was like what I'm saying, like the dude was like Shaquille O'Neal that got taken down with this. But look, I'm taller than like almost a whole head. Like you come up to like right my nose level in the mirror there, okay? So that being said, you have a lower center of gravity, and that is to your advantage when taking people down. The taller guy does not win in that exchange. You're under me. Look at our belt lines. That's how much lower your center of gravity is, okay? So, step in, head on the inside. And then, good, good. That really was a lot of good connection on my arm there, okay? So, any questions on single leg takedowns, leg hook takedown to side control, reposture, defense against punches?
I'm sure I will, but not at the moment.
Hey, but you know what? It's not the first time you've seen this stuff. Some of it is like, oh, okay, I've seen that, but we haven't put it together in this way. Again, we want to think about this like a boxer doesn't come out and throw one punch at a time and win, right? They got to put together some combinations. And for our self-defense, it's never just one thing and then they stop fighting, they stop, you know, you got to diminish their will to fight. You got to make them tired, you got to defend yourself, and you got to take an inch at a time sometimes. That's what we say our base is inching sometimes, but it's still mobile, right? Sometimes it's got to be super small. You got to take an inch to when the dam finally breaks to get a mile, right? So think about that. We'll move on to just our side control headlock escapes next, number 3 and 4, and we'll break the headlock to the arm bar today. All right, another high five. Okay guys, we're gonna be going over our side control headlock escape. This is somebody has grabbed our head, thrown us to the ground, or initiated from the ground. This is a common thing I see untrained people do. It is like, we don't teach any throws or anything to the kids that go around the head like that. But we'll have kids training a couple years even, and that's like their default thing when they're rolling and sparring is they grab people's head, you know? So I think it's just something that's inherent in us that like, oh, I grab your head and, you know, hit it against things and punch it and strike it and maybe it'll work, right? Well, we want to be finesse, break your hand striking someone in the head if you're not careful. We always try to address these misperceptions and then also things that people are gonna do, right? So this is a very beginner concept, but we're adding on. We did headlock escape 1 and 2, so go back and watch that. This is 3 and 4, okay? So review a little bit of just the striking defense and positional details, and then we'll add the techniques. And today, if they hold on to the headlock after we get on top, we're gonna add the arm bar in, okay? So go ahead and put me in this side headlock, okay? So here's the thing we talked about, guys. I'm gonna keep my head out to talk initially, but I want to tuck my head and hide it, all right? And it's gonna tell you, right now he's got like his arm up against my spine, okay? So I wanna turn on my side here, okay? And this is not a position where my arm is trapped under his arm. This is a position where he is grabbing my head. Turn this way a little bit. He's grabbing my head like this, okay? So, and in doing so, right, I need to turn on my side and grab his arm because he can do things like we talked about and let go here and start punching me in the face. Boom, boom. So, right, if he's rear back to punch, I can go ahead and persist right there and clamp. A lot of people think this if he just punches straight down, punch straight down to your foot, he can get out. Punch straight down. Nothing happened, okay? So if you have me in the headlock and you're going to rear back and hit, also I do this tuck. And then you're going to be hitting bone on bone. Top, it won't feel awesome, but it's not gonna knock me out. And it might break your hand, okay? So there, if I'm tucked here, collect the arm and trap it, okay? So that's just kind of some striking defense. If he just has the headlock, get the headlock. We talked about last class, here and here, okay? Now, this is protection, and the last thing is tuck your head. Okay, so I'm on my side, I'm connecting my shoulder to his back, I'm connecting my head inside to his chest, and I'm also coming forward with my shoulder a little bit. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step over here, and then I'm gonna bridge forward on my head. Hold on to my head. If he holds on and doesn't let go, it will shoulder lock him in a sense. So this breaks your grip. If you are persistent and it breaks your grip late, but still breaks it, that's when the shoulder lock can come in. Okay, so as I press away with this leg, I'm gonna bridge forward. Okay, the lock has been broken. Now I'm switching my hip here. I've already got a hook set, right? I wanna keep my chest on his back, right? And this, I would be looking for him to maybe try and come up to a turtle. If he's able to do that, right? See if you can draw that leg up underneath you. You might not be able to, but if you try, like that's when I can start setting that other hook. If we think back to class 4, you took the back from mount and we flattened them when they tried to base up. Same thing here, go back and review that class, okay? So, this one, we wanna get all the positional details, and your leg is not up, and I'm still able to use it. This is for primarily when the leg is up, right? So put your knee up. If your knee's completely down, we'll do something else, right? If it's up, I'm going here, okay? Even if you kind of faced it downward like that, again, I can still get it in there, okay? Put it up, right? Another thing we're thinking here, okay? If it's down and I start coming here, a lot of times I'll get you to put it up instead of doing that. Okay, come back. So I run, so start with it down. I start running, you put it up in defense. Boom. Right there. And it just breaks that headlock entirely. Okay? So, head here. Body positioning, get on your side. Tuck your head, yes, good, very good. Grabbing that wrist and that arm at the same time. It's pointless and futile for me to let go. And look, I was just here, just naturally. Throw that leg over. So remember, it's kind of be a little more active with that foot. Yeah, there you go. You're kind of almost lacing as you come up. But I want you to push away with that as you bridge forward on your head. Ah, yes. Now start switching your hips. Yes. Yes, that's what I was talking about. See, I was moving as you were going. Right, like you hadn't seen this whole drill maybe, right? So I was moving as you were going, so like that flattening of the turtle class 4 stuff, it worked. That was perfect, right? So let's see that again. Very good, Micah-san. Here, turn on your side. Hide your head. Good. Here, so this is lesson to everything. Tuck your chin in a little bit more. I want to feel your shoulder against my back. It should be uncomfortable. Good, throw your hook in. Good, connect with it. Start bridging. Connect with your hook. Yes. When you did both of those, my grip broke. Yes. I'm telling you exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, I'm going to stand up when he tries this. Just stand up. And when I did, you're like, so I thought you might try and stand up, and I did this. And remember the stress test on the back control? Okay, if you got turtle with hooks, can they stand up? Can they kick a leg straight back? Those are the main two. If they can't do those, you got a good positional control, okay? So good work on number 3. Number 4, sometimes we come up and we bridge. Sometimes we can't do anything other than that. And then also on this one, we see that real application of the needle thread that we were talking about last class, okay? So sometimes on a needle thread, I mentioned to you that we bring our knees up. And if you think back to some of the bridging we've learned in this class, like, okay, bridges, those are good, you know, we use them on that for escape, the very first technique we really learned in class, the bridge and roll escape, okay? Well, when we talk about different methods of bridging and coming to our knees, right? So here, and we kind of step over, we scissor our legs over that like a reverse needle thread, okay? So both of those are right. And like I said, like if the leg's not up and you start kind of bridging, sometimes I'll bring it up, right? My goal is if I take your back, like, wow, that's great, you know? But then like, okay, well, I wasn't able to take your back, you still hold on the head, but I'm to my knees. Also great, but there's some really key things we need to focus on. Get on this side, put me in the headlock here. Okay, so I want to get my positional details, just the headlock, not the arm. And let's still grab my arm. If he does this, this is what we call kesa gatami. That's the judo term, right? Scarf hold is the translation. A lot of, in wrestling styles, they'll call it head arm position, right? We use a different term, head arm, for side mount, right? So, you know, whatever, it's kesa. We just call it kesa. So if he's got my arm here, I want to turn on my side and get my arm. Now he's relinquished to only be able to do this, okay? So tuck in here, I'm on my side, I'm looking to see if this is available. If it's not, right, kind of, yeah, even bring it, like put it on top of the other leg, right? And then just kind of squeeze my head. This is very uncomfortable, but I'm finding comfort here. I'm staying tucked in, he's squeezing my jaw, but I've got my hand on his wrist, okay? And I've got my elbows in, I'm throwing both of his arms, and I'm connecting that shoulder here, okay? So from here, talked about this last class, we can hip escape back and turn to our knees, okay? Don't let me pull you over right now. Keep your head low. I can't. So I come up to my knees, base, and I kick you over here. Okay. Hold on to my head. Frame. Okay, and look, you can frame after you step over. Keep your head if you can. Because I'm so relaxed and down, it broke his grip as I stepped over. Post, he's really holding on. Really pull into it. You gotta embrace that. He's pulling you down, go forward. This is wedging and blocking. Here, okay? Now look, we can finish with the arm bar. Okay? Let's see this again, okay? So, put me, same starting spot. Here. So this is protection, right? Now I'm like, okay, that's not there. I start scooting back, I turn here, and I can't break the grip. Come up to my knees, base, pull him over. Step over, and there's my arm lock. Go to the thumb, okay? All right. Now, the other application on this is like, you couldn't even really hip out. Every time you move, they took the space back. That's where you bridge and come up to your knees. So really grab my head one more time, and I'll have you kind of look at both also. Okay. So really a lot of pressure here. Squeeze. Yeah. All right. I feel. Okay. Now follow me. Squeeze and forward. Yeah. I can't get away from me to turn belly down. I can't find this. Okay. So that's when I'll bridge. Boom. I came to my knees. Boom. Okay. All right. Head here. your side. Elbow in. Good. Tuck your head. Right? Go for my leg. I am not just giving it to you. Right? Try and see if you can, remember the frame thing where we cross face? I'm not gonna give you that. Right? See, I tuck my head down. So now, try and frame. Yeah, you don't have the space. And now I'm hitting you in the nose, right? You gave me some space. So go back, defend the strikes, start from that position. Okay. Now, walk away, turn belly down, completely belly down. A little more. Now, yes. Now, bring your knees up. Post your right hand on the floor. Nice, nice. Now, feel that arm on my bicep? Use it to pull me over. Other way. Yeah, there you go. Boom. Okay, go block the hip, go to mount. Pull, frame, lean forward. Yes, I have no strength. Okay, go ahead and step over, leg over before you fall back. Is what we want. We'll get it next time. Okay. Here. Right, so go ahead and get positioning. Turn on your side. Good. Now walk your hips away. Turn belly down. Right, bring your knees up. Push your right hand on the mat. Pull me over. Yes, steering me with your head. Very good. Step over to mount. Frame. Lean forward. Good. Step over the head. Yep, better. Good. Right on that thumb. Nice. Okay. Again. Head here. This time I want you to bridge to come up. Okay? So we're here and you start walking away from me. Right? I'm just in a ball. I'm not giving you that space. Every time you walk away, I kind of follow you. Right? But I'm here so you don't have the leg hook. So what I want you to do is get your striking defense in place. Right, get your arms, right, so here, good, nice. So, I'm following you in all this, my head's low, you don't have that. So, bridge forward, right? So like, yes, good, good, good. Okay, come up then come up to your knees. Hips high in the air, yes. Right hand on the mat. See how much that alleviated your life, right? I would like your left hand to be a little lower on my arm. There you go, just a little bit, right? And if that's hard to get around, you take what you can get, okay? So here, pull me and steer me. Boom, good. Step over the mount. Frame, lean forward. Good. One more on the bridge and come up to your knees, okay? So watch this one again. I'm here and I go. Look how my hips come up, and then, okay? Swing this way. Good. All right. Good. Body position. I'm not giving you anything. Bridge. See, when I did that, I'm not giving you anything. Bridge forward when I did that. Bridge. Boom. Yeah, right hand on the mat. As soon as you get up to your knees. Good. Pull me over. Yes. Good. Lean forward. Nice. Nice. Good. Way to take the slack out of that arm bar. Okay. Going to the thumb. That's how he's taking the slack out. Okay. So what's the other arm bars as we go through the program, right? That's just a really great beginner self-defense armbar, right? You broke a headlock and then your arm bar, one of the arms they were holding you with. It's gangster. All right, good work. It's class 12, so that's we'll be moving on. Let's see. Wow, yeah, we'll be starting back on new mount stuff, right? So our very first 3 classes were on mount, and now when we start class 13. We'll be back looking at mount. And guys, this is like about 3. We just completed a big 1/3 chunk of this program. There's 3 chunks like this. And we'll learn different mount escapes each chunk, right? Like each time we go through a big block, there's about 3 main mount escapes, we teach the UPA / bridge and roll, we call it both, the knee elbow escape, and the hip escape. Those are the big three. There are lots of other little ways that you could get out of mount, but those are the ones everyone needs to know. And even black belts, myself, been trained 17 years, those are the three most valuable to me. And it's just about doing them no matter what the person does. That's the black belt version of it, is like, oh, do these 8 things to me, I'm still doing the same escape no matter what. And that's, real simple. It's just one technique. Doesn't matter what you do, I could still get it. If I figure, in like, okay, well, he's gonna grab me here, still do that. Just gotta work on the details. Okay, good work.